Good evening, and thank you for joining me here tonight again in the Mingles of Evo Life. Here, transmitting from Georgina again. Georgina, the Airbnb hotel here in Condado. So thanks for joining. And hope you have a wonderful last weekend. And today we're gonna keep on talking about our last topic, because I didn't finish talking about the fifth dimension, okay? The fifth dimension, what the heck is that? So many people ask me about the fifth dimension, and I'm gonna review a little bit about what I spoke last week, explaining that. Thank you for joining. Hi to everybody. That the fifth dimension is not a physical place we're gonna walk into. Most likely, the fifth dimension is the dimension where we are being pushed. It is a state of consciousness, of mankind's consciousness, collective consciousness. We're being pushed right now to walk into that space, but it is a space within, right? A space where man is being pushed to act more from the space of the heart space. Take decisions not based on what the outside world tells us that we should do, right? Most rather, what feels good to us and what do we most value in life. And that's the fifth dimension, okay? Mankind, right now, everybody, doesn't matter who you are, we're here all together, and this is a whole, right? And this energy is gonna push us, all of us, one, in different levels than others, higher levels than others, but everybody is being pushed, whether we like it or not. It is an immutable behavior of this divine material that the universe is made out of, okay? That is what we call God, okay? So we're being pushed to act more from our heart space and based on the things that we truly value. But this is not the way that we have acted in the past, right? So this is why we've seen the world has been so imbalanced. And I want to say that one of the traits of this divine material that we are all made out of, and that encompasses everything in this universe, is precisely that it needs to be balanced. So more than ever right now, taking this into consideration and understanding how we can balance ourselves, how we can ground ourselves is very, very extremely important, not only in our individual lives, but also because we're part of a whole, we're gonna be impacting the whole universe. Whether we see it or we don't, this is the truth, okay? And we need to, more than ever, we're being called to ground ourselves and to understand how all this works, this divine material works, okay? So, I'm gonna keep on speaking now about what in the world can we do about this, right? In the human body, like I always say, this divine material acts through our consciousness, because we are the only species in this whole that has this privilege of having consciousness. And consciousness, as I was explaining last week, does not come from our mind, from our brain. No. This divine material that everything is made out of, that our spirit that our soul is made out of, that our energetic body is made out of. This plasma, we can say, is what provides consciousness to us. And this is the part of us that never, ever, it never has an end, okay? So we don't die like we normally think, right? And many of us. So this does not exist, because this part of us is eternal, okay? And this is our energetic body, because energy cannot be destroyed. Cannot be created, but it neither can be destroyed. So this divine material is the side of us that provides us with consciousness. It is not the brain. Never, ever. A brain produces thought, and thought is a product of our feelings and emotions. Okay? That is the order, the divine order in which we should understand our body and understand that our thoughts are a product of past emotions, past trauma, past feelings that we have hoarded along throughout a lifetime and before, okay? Lifetimes before. And we need this energy, this material to be cleaned, to be balanced, because during the day we interact with a lot of people that also are exerting different types of vibrations and different types of energies, right? And if we are not balanced, what we are putting out into the world, if we don't clean this energetic body, if we don't balance it and attend it like it should in first place, not second like we do, we are throwing those imbalances, those vibrations, those low vibrations into the world. Not only for ourselves, and we're going to see the repercussions in our life, right? In our life experiences, in our physical bodies, because body does get sick, disease, because of this, okay? And we need to understand this divine order that we should operate in so that we can excel in life and obtain the wonderful things that we were meant to and that we truly desire. Not what we normally get, because we don't understand this language. This is divine language, right? And man has been in balance because we have always been, rather than connecting to that side of us, to our emotional body, to our emotions and our feelings, we're being guided more from space of the brain. We've been using the brain. And so, because of that, because that order has been changed, we have created the imbalance in our lives, in our individual lives, and in the world. But it's time to understand this and to start waking up so that we can start changing it, okay? Changing it, totally changing it. So we have been looking in the outside all the time and copying and pasting how everybody manages everything in life, and that's how we do life also. We copy and paste, and this is why we don't obtain the things we want in our individual lives. And by doing this, we have mankind has limited itself of the greatness that we can do, okay? So, when we truly see and understand ourselves, right, as the energy, as this divine material that we are, we'll start to become more authentic and true to ourselves, because this is our raw material, right? And people are going to start in the fifth dimension to work more as genuine people, authentic people, okay? And we need to understand this concept of the divine material that encompasses everything there is if we want to reach our highest potential and desires. So grounding, as you may know, when I say that we need to ground ourselves and we need to balance ourselves, right? I mean, as you may know, that in our electrical system, right? Here, like here, in these sockets, right? We have a normally this is not it, because this is an extension cord, but in our electrical sockets, we're gonna see that we have a little hole, round hole, right? A third hole that is the grounding for electricity, right? Because all electricity needs to be grounded. Otherwise, it's gonna be imbalanced. And we are, as energy that we need to be in balance. And this little round hole that we see, the grounding, what provides is electrons, which is the negative charge in the atom, okay? So when we are grounding ourselves, grounding means walking directly barefooted in the ground, right? Making contact with Mother Earth, or maybe in the sand, if we live in Puerto Rico or any island where we have beaches, right? We can do that. And this grounding helps us a lot, okay? A lot. And this is treating ourselves as the energetic beings that we are. So, apply this concept of electrons, right? Electrons, which provide negative charge. Apply it to our daily life. We need to silence ourselves, right? Instead of always acting, because when we are in our electron side, right, we're receiving negative charge. So that negative charge is analog to saying that we are silencing, quieting ourselves, right? Instead of acting, which is the positive charge, which are the protons, okay? So mankind has always been, right, like acting in the positive charge of the atom, like always doing, acting, right? Controlling, trying to take decisions. And we have had far more positive energy than negative energy, thus causing this imbalance that we see today, like wars, right? Environmental crisis, social crisis. So, I want to make you a question. Did you know that atoms are at their most stable when the outermost energy level of the atom is either empty of electrons or filled with electrons? That's where we are more balanced, more stable, when that atom is more stable. And as you know, I've talked about the atom being multidimensional, and I'm going to explain it like an onion, right? An onion has different levels to it, right? It has different stages to it, and you keep peeling the onion, and you keep peeling different levels to the onion, right? So you have to see the atom in that same way. So when we have the most quantity of electrons in the outermost level of the atom, that's when we are going to be more stable. Either have that, right? Have the most quantity of electrons, or the less quantity of electrons, either or, okay? Like for example, if the outermost level of the onion has, in this particular atom, has seven electrons, right? This atom has 7 electrons to it. If it has in its outermost 5 electrons and other levels have 1 and 1 electron, then this particle is more stable. This atom is more stable than one that has 1 here, right? 1 here, or 2 or 5 here, 5 in the outside, and if it has 7, has 2 here and 5 in different levels inside the atom. So this is important to understand, and this is how we operate, because we are atoms. In the human body, as I said last week, right, we have 7 octillion atoms in an average human adult body. So imagine, we are filled with atoms. And this is why we need to treat ourselves and balance our energy. Recognize that we are emotional beings. We are energetic beings, more than physical ones. More than physical ones. And it is difficult for us to understand this, but this is the truth. We are more spiritual, actually, which is the same as saying emotional, as saying energetic. The 3 are the same. We can substitute the word, okay? But we are more spiritual beings than physical beings. We have an average of 7 octillion atoms, and as you know, atoms cannot be seen, right? We cannot see an atom with our naked eye, no. So these atoms that we are, these energetic beings that we are, right? We need to start learning about this divine material that we are made out of. Because the more we understand that, the more spiritual, the higher consciousness we're going to have, okay? We're going to have a higher consciousness. And as I always have explained, right, the human body is approximately 99% comprised of just 6 elements of the periodic table, okay? And it is oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, carbon, calcium, and phosphorus, okay? And the remaining part of us, which is a 0.85%, is made of sulfur, potassium, sodium, chlorine, and magnesium. All of these elements of the periodic table are essential elements, okay, for human life. So, and now you're gonna know that I don't want to confuse you by understanding that electrons and protons are energy, because they are not. Ding ding, they are not. Did you know that electrons and protons are matter, but they are not energy? I'll say it again. Electrons and protons that we have, right, in our atoms are not energy. They are matter. And a flow of electrons, like we need to get, is not a flow of energy, okay? It's not a flow of energy. It is a flow of matter. And of itself, it has an electric charge to it, okay? Because electrons have a negative charge, okay? But they are not energy in itself. They are matter. And the same goes with the protons, okay? The protons are matter, are not energy, and they have a positive charge. And neutrons, as you know, have a neutral charge. Well, and then we can understand by understanding all this, what am I trying to speak today and make you understand is the importance of us to look ourselves at the energy and the divine material that we are. Because energy is not a noun. Energy is an adjective or an adverb, we can say. Because energy is not made of anything, okay? Energy is a term used to describe a trait of matter, okay? Energy is not a noun. Energy is an adjective, is an adverb. Energy is not made of anything. Energy is a term used to describe a trait of matter and non-matter fields, okay? When matter has a velocity, for example, it is said to have kinetic energy, okay? So it is like an adverb that describes the verb, right? So there are also various forms of potential energy, as you know. So whether we want to accept it or believe it or not, our energy impacts the whole world and the universe. This magnetic field energy that we are immersed in will exert its natural and immutable behavior always. This is the divine material, okay? In human life, it is of extreme importance to observe and balance our energy, because as the matter that we are, right, our energetic kinesis will affect our life for good or bad, depending on how we understand the divine language that it speaks, okay? But right now, what is most relevant for you tonight, and as we close today's speech, it is not to stay stagnant anymore, right? And ignorant towards this divine material any longer. It is time for mankind to wake up and investigate, connect with the knowledge and the intel this divine material empowers us with, so that we can all walk into this higher fifth dimensional state, which is a higher state of consciousness, and manifest together as the universe that we are. One verse, right? Together, manifest together and create the new world, the fifth dimension, right? The next step in the evolution of the world together, so that we can manifest the great things. And this is why it is like I say, shedding, right? Shedding of the skin, one of the layers of that onion, shedding it out. And for that to happen, we need to clean it. And that's why we see chaos, right? We see wars and all this. This is the shedding happening. The shedding of all that negative vibration, so that the new and the wonderful can emerge, and we can move all together into this fifth dimension, into this new world that is going to bring We're going to be able to manifest from our heart space, from our authentic selves, and manifest great things in life. It's going to be a much better place for all of us, okay? So as always, hoping this information helped you. And please, if you have any questions, please write to me to evolife360@gmail.com. I'm more than glad. I love when you guys make questions. I love when we have conversations here. It gives me more empowerment to speak and to be able to address different things that you're curious about, right? So please send me those curiosities and questions. I'll be more than glad to answer them here, address them. And always sending you love and light. Please go and balance yourself, balance your energies so that your personal life can be of greatness, and so that you go ground yourself, you can exert great vibrations into the world. We all together can work in a better world, okay? Glad to have you here. I'm glad you liked it. Glad to have you here, and as always, sending you love and light, and see you next week here in the Mingles of Evo Life, okay? Bye-bye. Bye-bye.